champion Craig Turnbull, coach at West Virginia, and day before the NCAA tournament, has his athletes out getting warmed up. What are your thoughts about your team's chances and individuals you have here for the NCAA championships this year?
You're going to ask me the easy, hard questions
right away. Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we've got 5 individuals here, and I think all 5 have been seasoned very well. They've wrestled a very good schedule, and I think they all have very good opportunities to stand on the podium before the weekend's done. 2 unusual ones, Donnie Jones and Brandon Rader, are in their 6th year. So they come with a lot of experience and some of the things that age brings, and I think they're very poised and understand the tournament. Brandon has one of the more interesting places in the bracket. That Brandon is a first West Virginia wrestler who placed as a true freshman. In placing as a true freshman, he pinned the wrestler from UC Davis who ended up winning the national tournament the next year. His next year he plays major taggers from Ohio State in the national tournament and won it the next 2 years. So Brandon's been out for 3 years and really looked at that he was progressing toward really legitimately feeling that those were titles that he could have competed for. There was a real difference when he came back in his mind's eye and where he was wrestling, and that dissonance caused him a little lack of confidence that he'd never had, and he's really worked through it admirably to where he's really back to where some of his goals are within his reach at this tournament. But being unseeded, he's placed to where if he wins his first match, he'll wrestle Caldwell, the #1 seed, and it's a pretty fascinating matchup because Brandon can score in bunches and is very athletic, and obviously Caldwell can. So if we get to that matchup, I think that'll be an intriguing matchup, and it's a very tough draw for the #1 because you have a 2-time All-American who's gone through the things of Brandon that wasn't seeded and probably shouldn't have been, but is very capable. So that's a very intriguing matchup, and Donnie Jones is very, very dangerous, and I think he has great opportunity here. And we have a freshman, Nathan Panese, who's wrestled consistently very well as a freshman at 133 that has a good opportunity, and Shane Young at 125, who had tremendous success through Pennsylvania, won 3 state titles, and this year he has 26 wins. And so I think those are our 5, and I think they all have different strengths coming into this tournament, and you know, we're just excited to get it started. That Young, unfortunately, is positioned where if he wins his first one, he gets Robles, and Robles is so hard to train for that I tried to explain to our non-wrestling people in West Virginia that it's like our basketball team playing one game on a 15-foot basket, where that team always plays on a 15-foot basket and you do only once. It's just a very different experience. So you know, we'll see how that all goes.
How was the conference meet this year? How was the strength of your teams in that group, and how do you think the EWL will do out here?
You know, that was more of a focal point for us as coaches to worry about coming in the years past, but with this different qualifying system, I don't know that I put that much time into evaluating it as like you would before, because you lived and died by how your conference did. I do think the conference is getting better. We hit a little flat line there for a while, and we've got some new coaches into the league that have come into Bloomsburg and Clarion, and Lock Haven and Clarion and Bloomsburg, and those schools have showed a really tremendous amount of improvement and excitement in their programs. And Pittsburgh has really started to come into their own and so forth. So I think the league is strong and going to get stronger. We're continually looking for that 8th team, and there's some different teams we're talking to, but it's probably not appropriate to discuss that.
Now, East Coast Nationals this year. We're not out in the Midwest. Will this help some of the kids that grew up around here with their friends and families able to get out and see them compete?
You know, I don't have the statistical answer for that, but you know, just intuitively and anecdotally remembering when it does come east, I think you do see a difference in performance in the eastern schools, and it's just a comfort level thing. And I think when it was in State College years ago, you saw a lot of the eastern wrestlers wrestle a little bit better, and that would be a good statistical study, but I think just intuitively I believe that is a little bit of a help. Any comfort that you can add to the athlete to allow them to get their best performance out, I think is to their...
I have a couple Eastern teams. There might even be expected to do well or even win this. Would that be good for Eastern Wrestling to have someone come out of here as champion that's from this part of the country?
Is that a rhetorical question?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean.
Yeah, I mean that you're throwing me nice softballs there. That yeah, you know, how could it not be? You know, if you have an Eastern school win, I mean, in your recruiting, you're always trying to break that. I don't know if it's a myth, but that sense that an athlete feels I've got to go to the Midwest if I want to be a national champion, if I want to reach my potential. And the new qualifying system helps you break that a little bit, where you say, hey, here are the things you have set up, here are the workout partners, here's the schedule. You don't have to all be in 1 or 2 conferences to reach your potential or your dreams. And I think having an East Coast school do that certainly would add to that feeling where people can stay close to their home, their families and fans can follow them wrestle and not have them uproot. So I think that would be valuable in an awful lot of ways and would be very healthy for wrestling to have that diversity of people having that championship.
Well, thank you very much, Coach.
Yeah, thank you,
Appreciate
Gary.
it.